corporate governance structures in place. Organization grow and scale at the back of systems and processes, not just at the back of individual brilliance, right? Only when you create institutional brilliance, your businesses are sustainable and can scale. Individual brilliance lives and dies with individual, and hence it can never be sustainable, right? So startups do not have a system of, or do not have understanding of corporate governance and systems of accountability to put in place so that they become disciplined to live their dream. So the second aspect of helping startup is to bring them under a corporate governance umbrella, which is same for me as it will be for them. No difference, right? And because now they are under corporate governance umbrella of systems and processes, which drives responsibility with accountability, the chances of success go up. So they start to work while they are entrepreneurs, they work with their own management independence completely. The only requirement I have when I'm acquiring these startups is that you will follow my corporate governance. You can't just get up and say, oh, now I'm an entrepreneur, I'm on my own. No, that won't work, right? You need to have responsibility for your business and you need to be held accountable for your business, just like any other employee of the organization. It's same for our chairman. It's same for me as an entrepreneur and CEO. It's exactly the same for new startup, right? And because they come into a system of structure and corporate governance, which makes responsibility and accountability in a system, the chances of success grow that much more. So we've just done two as of now. One is very successful already because it's now 3.5-year-old. We have just acquired another one about 2 months ago or less than 2 months ago. And we just had a massive success with this startup yesterday in business or day before. So which means, you know, because they have now gotten the platform of JBS, they are going out and living their dream. I personally think within a year's time, they will actually be independent and you know, running their own cash flows. They will not need more fundings, etc. That's just my take on the way they have started. And that will give us a chance to go after the new startup. So as I said, our initial goal of 8 to 10 startups was till 2030. We actually believe we can get there much faster now, and we think we should be able to achieve that by 25, 26, when we'll maybe set our next
target. Right. So when a startup is acquired, that is bringing back the entrepreneur into a hybrid sort of a model, because he perhaps initially was not happy with his 9-to-5 job, and that is why he started his own venture, where he thought that he will have complete freedom and there'll be no accountability at all. He'll be the owner, and then JBS acquires them and brings them back into a structured thing. And that works. That is good. So that works.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so I'm just thinking that you're introducing a hybrid model, but perhaps that's for the benefit of the entrepreneurs as well, that like they have tasted their freedom, they know that they are not able to scale up, they'll either have to close the business, then that's better to come back to the corporate structure, but at least they'll have the confidence that, okay, it is their idea that they are working on. It's not somebody else's idea. At least the idea is their own. Perhaps the mode they wanted to operate in, that has changed.
Yeah. So the idea is their own, the company is their own, right? And they can scale. Yeah. The second point, and typically when we think of a responsibility and accountability, we think of, you know, it is in terms of 9 to 5. No, it's not, right? So for example, at JBS, we don't have a 9 to 5 routine. We have complete flexible working hour. It's work from anywhere policy. If you want to be in office, come to office. If you don't want to be in office, work from anywhere. We believe in a trust outcome-based relationship with our people. And people include me as well, by the way. So it's exactly the same for me as it is with any other employee of the organization. I may be a shareholder, but it doesn't matter when it comes to living the policies, right? So when we say with responsibility comes accountability, and that's a universal principle, it is not limited to an employee or an entrepreneur. The problem with entrepreneurship is that you forget that now you have taken responsibility of your business, which not just means your idea, but also maybe two people working for you. You are now responsible for them, just like any other leader is, any other chief executive is, right? Now, if you are not putting accountability with responsibility, which is a universal principle, your chances of success more or less diminishes, right? And the responsibility with accountability typically comes with a structure. So to give an example, what if we take all traffic signals out of this country? Now, of course, everyone knows he needs to give way to others and but they don't, right? Now, in this country, even with traffic lights, we don't, right? But with traffic lights are there to put a structure to the whole traffic flows which goes in there, right? And because of that structure, you are able to get to your destination in a civilized way on time. If that structure is taken away and just be left to people because they are entrepreneurs and they need to decide, since they own a car, hence they think they own the road as well. Now that won't fly, right? So unless entrepreneurs are willing to come into a structure, now they can put their own structure, and I don't care, they don't need to be in our structure. They can put, but if they're not willing to put accountability with responsibility, I personally think they will die, right? So what our acquisition model does is to bring them into this traffic light structure where we say, if it is a red light, you need to stop, just like everyone else, right? And you need to your timing in such a manner that you still get to your destination using traffic lights as a mean to structure yourself. If I'm able to explain the analogy, right? So we should not see it from a 9-to-5 perspective. We should see it from the fact that if you are taking responsibility for your idea and your business, you must learn to be held accountable for them. Otherwise, your chances of success diminishes. Just like you may own the car, but you don't own the road, right? Owning the car doesn't mean owning the road. Unless you own the road and follow the structure of the road, you will not get to your destination on time. It's exactly the same analogy in business.